Good evening from Washington. I'm Larry O'Connor. And yesterday we had a very important congressional hearing, but it wasn't here in Washington, D.C. It was out in Representative Darrell Issa's district, Escondido, California, and it featured Gold Star families whose children, loved ones, husbands were killed in Afghanistan in the final days due to President Joe Biden's disastrous pullout. You remember it well. And of course, under Nancy Pelosi, when the Democrats had the majority in the House of Representatives, well, they didn't have any hearings really to unpack what happened, and certainly not to give these family members a voice to express exactly how they felt about the events. Well, now that we have Republicans in the majority, this is the kind of hearing we have. And the mainstream media, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, they ignored this story. So, well, there's a reason why you don't watch them. There's a reason why you're here. We're actually going to spend a little time on this. They deserve no less. This is Gold Star father Darren Hoover talking about his son, Marine Darren Taylor Hoover. Please watch.
To have the ambassador to Afghanistan changed out midway through all of this should be a huge red flag. Why was that done? Because the prior ambassador was not on board with the decisions being made and the way it was being handled? If that's the case, then something needs to be done. In closing, I'm calling out Secretary Blinken, Secretary Austin, General Milley, General McKenzie, Lieutenant Colonel Whitehead, who could not give the order to the snipers to take out the bomber before he detonated his vest, and ultimately the president. Do what our son did. Be a grown-ass man. Admit to your mistakes. Learn from them so that this doesn't happen ever again. You all need to resign immediately. Our sons and daughters have more integrity in their little toes than every one of them combined. You owe it to our families here today, to the other Gold and Silver Star families that have gone before, and most of all to the veterans who have given so much for this country so that we have the freedoms that we enjoy today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well said. And of course, neither Secretary Austin or General Milley or Secretary Blinken, and certainly not the President of the United States, have resigned, let alone admit mistakes, let alone even acknowledge, really, these 13 service members who died due to their negligence, due to their miscalculations, due to their ineptness. In fact, the last time we saw President Biden have anything to do with these fallen heroes was when he was in Dover watching the dignified transfer of their remains. He checked his watch when the flag-draped coffins went by. You think that's bad? It actually gets worse. This is Gold Star mother Cheryl Rex. She's the mother of fallen Marine Lance Corporal Dylan Merola. Listen.
When Joe Biden, our elected president, entered the room, when he approached me, his words to me were, my wife Jill and I know how you feel. We lost our son as well and brought him home in a flag-draped coffin. My heart started beating faster, and I started shaking, knowing that their son died from cancer and they were able to be by his side. Also wondering how someone could honestly, be so heartless to say he knew how I felt a little over 24 hours and learning of my son's death. After this encounter, I have never had any personal correspondence, nor has my son been honored or his name spoken by this commander-in-chief or his administration.
Yeah, Joe Biden saying, I know how you feel. No, Joe Biden is not a Gold Star father. You know how I know that? Because he's not a Gold Star father. He claims that his son, Beau Biden, the former Attorney General of Delaware, is a victim of the Iraq War. He died of cancer. They may claim that he contracted the cancer while he was serving in Iraq, but that doesn't make him a Gold Star father. There was no flag-draped coffin that got flown in from Iraq. It's despicable. This man has to make it all about himself. I mentioned the broadcast media didn't cover any of this, and they didn't. Here's the cover of the New York Times this morning. There's a whole lot in there about Ukraine, the president's latest debacle, but I know it's hard to see. I assure you, not one mention anywhere on the front page of these Gold Star parents. And there's no mention in any of the subsequent pages either. A news blackout. They don't want to cover this story, which is kind of remarkable, you see, because I'm old enough to remember Cindy Sheehan. I bet you remember Cindy Sheehan too. Her son was killed in Iraq, killed in action when President Bush was in the White House. She set up camp outside his home in Texas, and she became a media celebrity. She was on television every day. But that's because George Bush was president. He's a Republican. Let's not forget the Khan family. Their child also died in the Afghan conflict. And, well, when President Trump was running for office, they became celebrities. They became a cause. They became political tools to be used. The Democrats and the media, they don't really care about Gold Star parents. Clearly, they only look to use them as a cudgel, as a weapon, as a way to hurt Republicans. Otherwise, you would see these Gold Star family stories told every night, and you won't, because it hurts their guy. Let's leave you now with Alicia Lopez, mother of fallen Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez. She had a very important moment at this hearing as well. Pay attention, please.
I ask that our children are honored, those injured, and those that made it home from HKIA. That they be honored by speaking the truth. Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, Sergeant Nicole G., Sergeant Johanny Pichardo, Staff Sergeant Ryan Naus, Corporal Dagan Page, Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Hospital Corpsman Maxton Soviak, Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui, Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, Lance Corporal Jared Schmidt, Lance Corporal David Espinoza, Lance Corporal Riley McCullum.
We won't forget, nor should we. Those families deserve better. They deserve attention. They deserve to have their stories told. And they deserve a commander-in-chief who is close to being worthy of that office. We have nothing near with Joe Biden. I'm sure he's checking his watch as we speak. There's more to come on O'Connor tonight. Keep it here. It's Salem News Channel.